challenging period of COVID-19 has also trained 6,000 students and recycled over 20,000 kilograms of waste. Stanley's story is a powerful reminder that age is just a number when passion meets purpose. No challenge is too big when you approach it with creativity and a desire to make a difference. Inspire change in your own sphere. We see possibilities. Tune in again for more achievement news, your daily source of positivity. Visit us at www.achievementchannel.com and join the movement #WeSeePossibilities. That's all on the achievement news for today. Remember, every day brings new opportunities for growth, progress, and impact. Keep achieving, keep inspiring, and most importantly, keep believing in the power of possibility. My name is Comfort Idongse Basi, and I'm wishing you a truly impactful day.
Welcome to Teachers World, where we celebrate the heroes of education. Join us on Teachers World, only on the Achievement Channel.
Hello, and welcome to another inspiring episode of Teachers World, the program that celebrates the pivotal role of educators in shaping the future and provides valuable resources for their professional and personal growth. I am Ugonwa Ohuchi, your host, and I'm delighted to be with you today. You are watching the Achievement Channel, Nigeria's first and only 100% motivational TV station, broadcasting from the School of Eloquence studio in Ikoyi, Lagos. In today's episode, we'll be diving deep into how teachers can support the mental health of their students and foster a positive learning environment. It's going to be an insightful session, so stay tuned.
Join us on Teachers World, only on the Achievement Channel.
I'm thrilled to introduce our guest today, Ms. Sarah Ndo. She's an educational psychologist and a dedicated mental health advocate who specializes in children and adolescents. She believes in a world where no child is neglected and every child receives the right education tailored to their unique learning style. Ms. Ndo, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
It's such a pleasure to have you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
So in your experience, knowing that you're an educational psychologist, what are some of the key mental health challenges that children and adolescents face today?
Okay, yes. Thank you so much for asking. Okay, in my experience, adolescents and children, they face quite a number of mental health challenges. And firstly, mental health is a crucial part of teaching and learning. A lot of children and adolescents face mental health challenges, which is neglected by either their parents or their teachers. And I will just make mention of few challenges here. One, let's talk about anxiety and stress. Anxiety and stress, a lot of children and adolescents are anxious and under stress because of, let's say, an expectation from family, expectation from parents, peer pressure, thereabouts, and they are under, a certain kind of expectation from family, which puts them under pressure, where they need to have a certain kind of academic success. And if they are not, able to meet up with that kind of expectation from family or parents, they are under pressure and they're anxious. So another is trauma. Trauma is a key mental health factor. Most children have traumatic experiences, or they have what we call the PTSD, that's a post-traumatic stress disorder, where they where they begin to express whatever trauma they've had in the past. For instance, growing up, they probably had abusive parents, or they were abused as a child. And because they were abused, it's, would affect their mental health, affect the way they think, affect the way they process things, and even find it difficult to learn during the classroom activities.
Okay, I think this is quite insightful. Talking about parents not being aware sometimes of these challenges of the children. What are some of the practical strategies that what role do you think educators can play in addressing these challenges? What are the strategies that educators can use in addressing these challenges?
Okay, thank you. Educators, which are teachers, first of all, they are the first to actually take notes and figure out when a child is struggling mentally. They are the first to ever notice that a child is struggling mentally. So when a teacher or an educator finds out that this child is struggling mentally, because we teachers pay attention, or rather we spend more time with children in school rather than the way their parents do. A lot of times, most of these parents are actually more busy. They go to work very early in the morning. Before they come back, probably they have someone who picks their child from school, and they come back because of the hustle and the bustle of Lagos. They get back home, they're all tired. They pay less attention to their children. So we teachers pay more attention to these children because we spend more time. So first of all, we are the ones who can figure out that a child is struggling mentally. And when we can do that, we begin to observe. We observe their academic performance, their socializing skill, if they isolate themselves or they are just irritable, they just flare up just by a little thing, they're angry or whatever. So we're able to observe, and while we observe that, we educators or teachers are supposed to now call this child, draw the attention of this child, and have a conversation, not being judgmental, have a conversation, just get to know what the matter is there something, is there a problem at home? And by the time the teachers have had that conversation, they can now furthermore take it to the parents, get to involve the parents of this child and pay attention to it. Furthermore, if it's something that they think they should involve the school authorities, they should get the school authorities involved.
This is so true. Picking the point of being in Lagos, where a lot of parents are actually really busy. I think I agree with you that now educators have an even greater role to play, especially in Lagos, knowing that many parents are busy, so they don't get to see the children as much as they would want to see the children, or they should see the children. So what can you give us some specific strategies, maybe one or two strategies that you think that teachers can use to support their students to support their mental health in the classroom while they're teaching?
Okay, some of the strategic methods that practical strategies that teachers can use to support the mental health of students. I would want to talk about growing up. It was quite difficult for me to learn because I had challenges socializing. I didn't know how to speak up. I had a very low self-esteem, so I didn't know how to. It was quite uncomfortable for me in class. And also because of the fact that I had challenges academically, where that term of a child being a dullard came from. I struggled with that. I struggled academically. I couldn't, I didn't have good grades. I didn't have good grades growing up. And it now made the teachers and even my, classmates, look at me in a certain way. There's always that, that stigma that comes with children who do not perform well academically. And with that, these children are not comfortable. So first of all, the first practical strategy every teacher can take is, creating a positive learning environment. No child is a dullard. Don't make any child feel like because they are being anxious in class when they ask them a question, or they fidget when they are being called to give a speech or something. They might be struggling with a mental health challenge that you do not know. And instead of making them feel less of themselves, create a positive environment, make them know that they can do better. They can do better than that. And secondly, have inclusive learning environment where you have to involve every child in the learning activity. You don't have to say, because this is a brilliant person or that is a brilliant person, then they should be the one to be pushed in any class activity. Involve everybody. Let every child be involved in any classroom activity. Practicalize it. Give them a group discussion, give them a group work to do. And in that way, we can actually have a good teaching learning process.
Thank you so much for sharing your own personal experience, because it makes a world of difference when we hear from your personal experience. Yeah. If I can reiterate what you have said about the strategies, creating a positive first and then an inclusive learning environment. Those are excellent points, Ms. Indu. Thank you so much. Could you also give us an insight into how teachers can identify when a student actually needs support pertaining to their mental health in the classroom?
All right, thank you.
And what steps they could possibly take to support.
Okay, all right, thank you so much. I would say that teachers can they can get to know when a child is actually struggling mentally by observing. Observation is one of the key things to know. Every teacher is like, I say teachers are second parents. Yeah, teachers are second parents, where after their biological parents, then we have the teachers. So the first thing that they can do is to observe. When they've been able to observe the students, that's why they have to be able to pay attention to every child in their classroom, pay attention to every one of them, and observe their academic performance, observe their socializing skills, observe the way they interact with their fellow classmates and all of that. So by the time you're able to observe that, this child was doing better last term, but this term now your grades are reducing, what's the matter? Then the steps they can take is that when they figured out that this child has a declining academic performance, then they would call this child aside, get to have a one-on-one communication with them, have a conversation with them, just create a positive, a non-judgmental atmosphere where this child can confide in them and get to talk, get to explain what it is, because children and adolescents do not like to talk about things. They prefer, keeping things to themselves. But when you're able to create, a calm, good and positive environment, a non-judgmental one, trust me, they'll be able to open up with time. It might take a lot of time, but they would with time. And when you've been able to do that, the next step is to get their parents involved. Or if you feel getting their parents involved might be too much, you can tell the school authorities to get, probably a guidance or a counseling, strategy or so, a guide. A guidance counselor to help. Or, have a specialist, a mental health specialist in their school where they can actually assist the child. So, yeah.
Okay, thank you so much, Ms. Indu. These are excellent points that you have raised. So we will be taking a short break now. So you are still watching the Achievement Channel, and we're here with Ms. Indu. We'll be back. Stay tuned.
For us here at the School of Eloquence, our primary focus is on the art of public speaking, because it's a major problem. And public speaking, we must understand, is the raw art of speaker to audience oral communication.
I got a lot more than I actually expected. I have overcome the fears I used to have.
The more you speak, the better you are at speaking.
School of Eloquence is the place you can be, and there's a turnaround. That change you're expecting, you get it there.
Welcome back to our program Teachers World. You are still watching the Achievement Channel here in the School of Eloquence studio in Ikoyi, and we're still with Miss Sarah Ndu Adanna, our educational psychologist.
Thank you.
Miss Ndu, before the break, we were talking about how you gave us insight into how teachers can observe when a student actually needs support and what to do about that. So earlier on, you had told us you had shared your own personal story. But as a follow-up, could you share a particular thing done by maybe a specific teacher that helped you out of that situation, or something that could help that we could learn from?
Okay, yeah, thank you. Back then in my primary school, I think I would have to just, give a good background story. So it was quite difficult for me to assimilate, and that was because the way I was being taught was not my learning style. So that's where the educational psychology of children comes in. It wasn't my learning style, meaning there are different ways children learn, and there is a teaching method applicable for that learning style. So because of that, I found it difficult to learn. So for instance, I'm a visual learner. I learn better visually. I rather see what you're teaching me than just giving me theoretical, aspect of what you're teaching me. So that affected the way I learned and assimilated knowledge, which now made it, hard for me to read and write exams and have good grades. So fast forward to when some teachers, a particular teacher paid attention, and she called me, what is this? What's the matter? Is there something wrong? Is there anything at home? And is there a problem? And all of that. And what she did was so profound to me, because after she had a conversation with me, I didn't even know, because I was young. I didn't even know that, I had that as a challenge. So after she now realized that it's actually the way, and it's not like I didn't know how to read, write, and I did that, but I needed a better way to learn, which was a visual aspect of learning. So what she now did was that she now involved my parents, and, told them that it's better off that, they get involved in my academics by, helping me to, having technologies like, other things to assist, like after school work, whatever thing that's been done from school, my parents should be able to, help me visually to learn, probably with a phone or something, just so that I can, be able to, and that helped for a while. That helped for a while. Also, I was not able to, now understand better what was learned. And with that, that now made me understand that I learned better visually. So fast forward into my secondary school and university days, I now understood that whatever is being taught theoretically, because of the Nigerian system of education, they do what they can do, the lecture method, give it to you and you're out. So I now understood better that this lecture method is not going to stick. All I have to do is that I go on YouTube, look for means to get what was taught in class. And trust me, when I do that, watch those videos, and when I do that, I'm able to understand every single thing that was taught in class, and that way I had better academic performance.
Beautiful. This is a powerful example of how one teacher, the care taken by one teacher, actually made a huge difference in your life. Thank you so much for sharing this story with us. Now, let's talk about self-care for teachers. Teaching is a demanding job.
Of course.
You agree, and I know that because I have the experience. And teachers also need to prioritize their own mental well-being. So what advice do you have for teachers for they themselves?
Okay, thank you. Teachers, first of all, you are not a therapist. It's not in your role to want to act the role of a therapist to every child. But I tell you, it is most important that you also prioritize your mental health, because if you are affected mentally, you cannot give in your best to every child that needs your support. So I would advise that prioritize your mental health as a teacher. Seek support if need be. Go for professional therapeutic sessions with mental health practitioners. Have one-on-one sections with them, and get to understand your own mental health and whatever thing you are struggling with and the solution that will be preferred to you. Prioritize your mental health. Take out time. Don't even overload yourself with work. It's hard, of course, as a teacher. It's hard. You need to, it's demanding. You need to meet the needs of every child in the school, but make sure you take out time for yourself. There are a lot of teachers that want to do a lot of things at the same time, where they, they are, after the school activity, after the school time that they've had in school, they still, have extra lessons in, with students. It's not wrong to have that, but most times, most teachers do that to, like, in different houses, home lessons. Yeah, they have home lessons over the week, over the weekend, all of that, just to meet up with things. But most times when you overwork yourself as a teacher, you would realize that when it's the first day of the week, that's on a Monday, you are stressed out. You wouldn't put in so much for the students that actually need your help and support. So make sure you prioritize your mental health. Reduce every stress as possible as you can. Reduce it, because whatever you have is what you can give out. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much, Ms. Sundu. So finally, for the teachers who are watching us today, what is your message, your takeaway message for them, at least just in one sentence?
All right. Thank you very much. So my takeaway message to teachers is this: you play a vital role in the future of every child. You either make their future or you destroy their future. No child should be left behind. No child is a dullard. Please put in the best efforts that you can in making their future, and they will thank you for how much effort that you did. Thank you so much.
It's been a pleasure, Ms. Sundu. Thank you so much for being on the program with us today. And we've gone away with this insight: no child should be left behind. Thank you.
Join us on Teachers World, only on the Achievement Channel.
That's it for today on Teachers World. Remember, small actions can make a big difference in a child's life. And by prioritizing mental health, you're not just shaping students, you are shaping futures. Would like to hear from you. Share your thoughts, experiences, and questions on social media using the hashtag #TeachersWorld. Let's keep the conversation going. Follow us at Achievement Channel on Instagram, Facebook, X, and YouTube for daily doses of inspiration, exclusive content, and behind-the-scenes updates. Use the hashtag #WeSeePossibilities and share your thoughts with us. Stay inspired, stay focused, and keep seeing possibilities on the Achievement Channel, where we see possibilities.
Join us on Teachers World, only on the Achievement Channel.
Mr. Motivator, Mr. Motivator, Mr. Motivator, Mr. Motivator Minute.
Mr. Motivator,
Motivator, Mr. Motivator.
Mr. Motivator, the challenge to perform.
Every morning we're told in Africa that the gazelle wakes up with a clear determination that it must run faster than the fastest lion in order not to be eaten alive. Every morning we're told that the lions also wake up determined to run faster than the slowest gazelle, otherwise they will starve. Well, there's a moral to this anecdote. It is simply this: that it doesn't matter whether you're the lion or the gazelle. What truly matters is that when morning comes, you had better get up and get going. It's the dawn of a brand new day, and I'm here to ask you, what do you want to achieve today? Where do you want to go with your life, with your goals, with your aspirations? What sort of difference are you seeking to make in whatever it is you've chosen for yourself to do? My job is to challenge you to perform. My job is to inspire you, to energize you, and to bring to you all of the resources that you will need so that you can indeed say to yourself that, yes, I had this morning with Mr. Motivator.
Mr. Motivator.
Mr. Motivator, Mr. Motivator.
Walt Disney, the founder of Disneyland, once said that all our dreams can come true if we have the courage to pursue them. We're going to be discussing what I consider my favorite subject matter. It is the subject matter of dreams, the subject matter of setting goals for yourself, of aspiring to achieve the impossible. Most times, what we think is impossible is actually something waiting to be done by someone else. In fact, as Napoleon once put it, that impossible is only a word to be found in the dictionary of fools. And I know you are not a fool. So when we talk about dreams, what are the 4 major things that you need to know in order to live a successful life driven by the power of dreams? Number 1, you must dream big dreams. Dream the dreams of giants. Dream a dream that might look so impossible at the outset, but you need a dream to be so big so as to enable you to challenge you, to inspire you. It's always very important to realize that you were not made for small things. As a matter of fact, every one of us is made to do something big at one point in time or the other in our lives. So dream a dream that stimulates you, that excites you every morning to want to get up and go. That's the first principle. Number 2, you must draft the dream. Put it down in writing. Maybe you need to sculpt it, paint it. In whichever way you can, put it out there. Make it tangible so that people can see and relate to it. And number 3, you must declare your dreams. Tell people about your dreams. We're not asking you to discuss your dreams, but I'm saying to you, declare it. Let people know what it is you are seeking to accomplish in your life or in whatever field of human endeavor that you've set out to do. And then finally, number 4 is this. And this is where it all comes together. You must do what the dream demands of you to do. If the distance be not traveled, the destination will never be reached. Dreams will remain pie in the sky if we do not take action. So what actions are you taking? Set goals. Specifically begin to outline what you need to do so that you can begin to work towards them. I leave you with the words of a young lady who was challenged and people felt her dreams were impossible. In fact, they said to her, "Your dreams are not real." Then she replied by saying, "The dream is real. It is the failure to make it happen that is the unreality." Dream big dreams.
Mr. Motivator.
Mr. Motivator, Mr. Motivator.
Mr. Motivator, the challenge to perform.
Welcome to another exciting edition of Career Success on the Achievement Channel, where we delve into the stories, strategies, and secrets of remarkable individuals who are shaping the future of industries and organizations. I am Oyin Priye Krumale, and today we have an incredible guest, a man whose expertise in leadership, strategy, and organizational transformation has propelled senior executives and companies towards unimaginable success. He is none other than Dr. Maxwell Ubah. He's a highly sought-after consultant specializing in strategy, leadership, cultural alignment, and organizational transformation. He is the CEO of Strategy House. Dr. Maxwell holds the prestigious Sloan Fellowship in Leadership and Strategy from the London Business School, and that was in 2011. He is a graduate of medicine and surgery from the College of Medicine, University of Lagos, Akoka, in 1997, where he graduated with a distinction in physiology and was the best medical student in basic medical sciences in 1992. He's a fellow of the Chartered Institute of Management Consultants, United States and in Canada. Is also a fellow of International Management Consultants Board, that's also in the United States, a chartered management consultant, accredited management consultant, and a member Institute of Training and Development, and also learning development specialist, learning and development network international. That's quite a robust one. And today, guess what? He is here to tell his career success story and share insights that will inspire and empower you to unlock your potential. Welcome once again to the program. Guess what? Drum rolls, and we have Dr. Maxwell Ubah here. Hello, sir.
Thank you.
Welcome to Career Success.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here. Happy to share my story with the audience. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Okay. First of all, let me say this. Whilst I was reading your profile, I believe our viewers will be thinking I'm expecting to see somebody like 10 feet tall, huge, big and strong. Of course, you look huge, big and strong, but it looks like you appear like physically like a model. So I don't know what you've been doing to keep yourself on shape like this, but I'll advise that you keep on doing that.
Thank you.
So, straight to business of the day. Where did it all start?
I think it started in Lagos, because that was where I was born. I was born in Lagos. I did my primary school in Lagos, in actually a local government that you call a Jeremy Felodu local government.
Ajegunle?
Yes.
No way.
Some people don't believe this particular
No,
side
I can't.
of the
You don't
story.
look it.
Because and for me, it's also a message of hope that your background doesn't have to define you. It doesn't matter where you were born. You can actually become what you want to become in life. So it was in a Jeremy Felodu primary school that I did my primary school. But something significant in primary school, I was an average student in primary school. I remembered my first time primary one was 14, second 13, third 14. But somewhere in primary 5, there was a major turnaround. And what happened was, I saw during the PTA, Parent Teachers Association Day, where the best student was given an award, and I saw my classmate walking down the aisle and everybody celebrating them. And there and then I said to myself, in primary 6, I'm going to win this prize. That was what I said to myself internally. And guess what? For the very first time in my life, it was in primary 6, first time primary 6 that I came first. And one lesson I learned is that I took from that experience that the decisions you make actually propels you to greatness. And a lot of people are not maximizing their potential because they've not gotten to that point where they say to themselves, this is who I want to be, or put in another way, I deserve more. So you can be comfortable with your result. The day you get to that point where you say to yourself, as an individual, I actually deserve more. The people that have been promoted after every 6 months or 1 year, why can't it be me? And that was what I said to myself in primary school, and it started the journey. Then to secondary school was where the major success story happened. I did my first GCE in JSS 2.
What school was that?
From Reservation Secondary School.
Ah, no way. No way. The reason why I'm saying this, because if you know where Jeremy Felodun Primary School. He starts in Ajegunle. I'm sure you've heard stories about that place. And let alone Reservation Secondary School, that should be in Apapa.
Yes, Tolu Schools Complex.
Tolu Schools Complex.
So for people
it's a dangerous area for secondary school students at that point in time.
At that point, yes.
You could hardly tell if those students have any vision or plans of becoming someone in life. I'm just trying to paint a picture. It's coming from somewhere very deep. And for the fact that he has emerged the way he is now is something to be applauded.
Yeah, thank you. So the school was Reservation Secondary School. Like you said, in the 80s, the Tolu Schools Complex is notorious for gang activities, criminal activities, and all that. But I was fortunate, blessed, lucky, whatever you want to use, to have a teacher who, his name is Mr. A.B. Adelusi, who called me and some other boys and said to us in JSS 1 that we should go home and tell our teacher, our parents, that we're going to write GC in JSS 2. In fact, when I went home and announced that I was going to write GC in JSS 2, I didn't really know what GCE was. This was 1980, 86 there, but I didn't know what GCE was. I was just excited about announcing GCE to my parents. I remember what my late elder brother said. He said, because of you, WAEC will create F10. And I asked him, I asked him then, what is F10? He said, F9 is 0 to 39, but your result will be so bad that WAEC will create F10 because of you. Cut the long story short, the teacher started preparing us for GCE. Eventually, I entered for 3 subjects in 1987. I did my GCE in 7th Avenue Primary School in JSS 2. I did maths and physics and English in JSS 2. And I had a C4 in maths, a C6 in physics, and a C6 in English in JSS 2.
Wow.
By SS1, 1989, I was the second best science student in the whole of Lagos State. So in
wow.
Yes, in 1989, I represented Lagos State in a national quiz. The overall best came from Queen's College. Then I need to mention it from Queen's College. Then I was in SS1 and the lady was in SS2. So we represented Lagos State in national quiz. And the lesson for me also is that even in a bad situation like Tolu, I had a teacher. And everybody can benefit from having a model, a mentor that can shape your future academically or in your career. So that's what happened in secondary school. And I wanted to do, I know because people will ask.
That's an excellent story, I'm telling you.
Thank you.
Please go on.
Thank you. So in 1989, so when I wrote my papers in 1989, my first choice was to do engineering because physics was my easiest science subject. But those days, if you're very intelligent in the sciences, you are pushed towards medicine. And so I said to myself, I like challenge, and University of Lagos was the highest cutoff mark. And if I can do GC in JSS 2, I should be able to enter University of Lagos first time. And I wrote my GC in 1990, entered. 1990 was the year they cancelled English, and I scored 244 over 300. I had
244?
Yes, I had a 90 in physics, a 78 in chemistry, and a 76 in biology. So I entered University of Lagos, and in my second MB, which is what they call the most difficult exam then in school, I don't know about now, I had a distinction in physiology, and I was the best student in my class. And I won the University of Lagos Prize, the College of Medicine Prize, the Provost of Medicine Prize in 1992. But somewhere along the line, I had to make a detour from medicine.
Okay, now before you move on or start telling us how you detoured and what prompted that, this is quite inspiring. Your foray, your movement from primary, from that environment, secondary school, then university. So now I'm going to say you're a medical doctor. So you kind of decipher what's wrong with people's health and how you need to fix them up so they can be healthy and go about their daily lives. But now you have to fix organizations. First of all, what made you study medicine? Secondly, why the detour?
two very important questions. Why did I study medicine? I think I mentioned it the last time. I wanted to do engineering, and in fact, even in school, I will now when I say this, some people are surprised. I read Nikon and Packard, the physics textbook, from the first page to the last page. I read Abbott from the first page to the last page. So physics
that
was...
name sounds familiar,
yes, Abbott. Physics, I knew physics at the tip, you understand. I knew physics very well. It was the easiest for me science subject. I wanted to do engineering. My daddy, late of blessed memory, wanted a doctor. And since they said intelligent, the best science students should read medicine, so societal pressure with that of family expectation pushed me into medicine. But I remember what my late mother said when I was filling my JAMB form. He said, do you think you have the mannerism, the attributes, the personality traits to become a doctor? I said, Mommy, I can. He said, it's not about your intelligence, it's also about your character, about your personality and all that. So med school, I was in med school doing well academically. Second MB did well, never failed any exam in med school. But somewhere in my 5th year, my daddy died. So the motivation for medicine also died with him, because it was the primary reason then that I was doing medicine, coupled with the fact that I had a bit of that clash between my personality and the practice of medicine. So I just said to myself in 5th year, I think I need to find something else that aligns with my passion, or something that aligns with my personality, and that was why I made the change. So why did I start studying organizations? It was in that 5th year when I decided I was going to leave medicine. I started asking myself questions. My professors are people we revere, we worship, we idolize, because we need to read their textbooks to become doctors. But I noticed that when they are given positions, HOD, Dean of Basic Sciences, Dean of Clinical Medicine, and all that, or provost of the college, we noticed that they couldn't lead well. And I started asking myself in 5th year med school, what does it take to lead a group of people, an organization, a department well? And that was what led me to start reading Peter Drucker's book in 5th year med school.
Okay, now, sorry, I need to stop you now. I know we are due for a break, and my producer is trying to prompt me for that, but I have to just take the risk to ask you one more question before we do that. What was motivating you, pushing you on the inside in all of this? Because it sounded adventurous, and also you sound like you were enjoying it. So what was the motivation for you?
I think the first motivation for me then in school is that I want to be the best that I can be in any field I find myself. That's the first thing. And secondly is that I wanted to play to my strength. And thirdly is also I want to help people. It might be in medicine, it might be arts of medicine, but ultimately I want to help people become, because what do doctors do? Doctors help people become better in their health. I help people become better as leaders and lead the organization. So that's my own way of helping people and contributing to society. At the end of the day, that's the things that motivate me. I want to be my best. I want to maximize my giftings and my talent. And ultimately, it means nothing if it doesn't help somebody become better.
Okay. Now, thank you very much. We're going to go on a break. And when we are back from this break, Dr. Maxwell Ubah is still going to be here. He's going to start talking to us about his foray into the next part, which is talking about leadership, strategic thinking, and organizational reforms. Then we're going to be looking at some of the challenges he faced whilst he was doing that. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
For us here at the School of Eloquence, our primary focus is on the art of public speaking, because it's a major problem. And public speaking, we must understand, is the raw art of speaker to audience oral communication.
I got a lot more than I actually expected. I have overcome the fears I used to have.
The more you speak, the better you are at speaking.
School of Eloquence is the place you can be, and there's a turnaround. That change you are expecting, you get it there.
Welcome back, and many thanks for joining us. right here on the Achievement Channel, and this is Career Success. Still have in the studio with me Dr. Maxwell Uba. Welcome once again.
Thank you.
Now, so you were going to delve into how you got into organizational transformation and your intention for that purpose. Yes.
So I said it was that 50 and I said, okay, what can I do? And in that process of asking, why is it that intelligent people, professors with different degrees cannot lead a department, a unit, the school of medicine? And that was what led me into strategy and leadership, saying, okay, how can people lead better? How can people lead better? And so I started reading Peter Drucker's book. So and there's a similarity. You know, in medicine, one of the postings I did in medicine was dermatology. So we are all dressed up, suited. In dermatology, we're dealing with skin diseases. And I found out that when you remove the clothes of some people, there's a lot of things that people are going through and they need help. Same thing with organizations. You see the big building, it looks all nice and fancy and the rest. If you go internally, you find out that people are going through a lot of challenges. And those challenges stems from poor leadership. And I said, Maxwell, can you become like an organizational doctor, helping organizations and dealing with those people-related issues in that organization? And for me, that's one of the greatest joy I have, helping organizations become effective.
How do you think people can learn from this? Because you sat down by yourself, and from what you got from reading other people's books, you were able to decipher what you think or the path you think you should take for now. But right now as we speak, reading is a culture that is dying in our society. So how can you inspire people to take this line again to discover more?
So if you put everything I've said today, let me start by saying that you can become anything you want to be in life, but you cannot become everything. So when we try to motivate people, we need to let people know that they cannot become everything, but they can become one thing, and you can become the best in that one thing. So the first thing I need to say to the person is that you need to find that one thing that you can become the best in, that one thing that plays to your strength, that one thing that is in line with who you think you are. That's the first thing you need to start. What is that one thing? If I need to reduce my life to one sentence, what would that one sentence be? That's the first thing I need to say here. The second thing I need to say here is that you require the role of a mentor. It took the teacher, the example of the teacher that I said, to help me discover that. Then you come to the point of personal decision. I also made a decision that this is what I want to do with my life. I made a decision that I am going to become, I'm going to come first in premises. I'm going to get a distinction in physiology. It's a decision that I made. Then you support that with every other thing about hard work and all that. So reading, of course, you need to read because you need to discover what others have discovered. You don't need to reinvent the wheel. Medicine, I think the discipline of medicine is that it forces us to read. That's what the discipline of medicine. Our textbooks are quite big. You need to find out what are the root causes of the disease and all that. So in any field that you have chosen, you need to read. And there's a common saying that is out there, the 10,000 hour principle, that if you invest 10,000 hours in anything, you become an expert in that particular thing. So go back again. You need to choose the field you think you can become the very best in. You need to find the right mentors. You need to make the right decision. Then you need to read.
Okay. In all of this, just listening to your story, it sounds so inspiring, and some other people could feel like, let me just jump on it and ride on it. But were there some difficulties? Were there some mountainous problems and challenges you encountered? And if there were some of them, how did you maneuver?
I think the challenges I encountered was when I was trying to make the transition from medicine and out of medicine. A lot of people did not understand why would somebody who did well in medicine wants to leave medicine. And the truth of the matter is that not everybody will understand your dream. Not everybody will understand your goal. Elon Musk, for example, had an opportunity to do PhD in Stanford, and he deferred his program and never completed it and pursued his entrepreneurial dream. Some people might say maybe because he wanted to remain in America, but more of his entrepreneurial dream. Same thing with the owners of Google. Am I saying you should leave university? No, what I'm saying is that you need to be in tune with yourself. You need to face rejection. That rejection of you want to leave medicine, the ridicule, you want to leave medicine to do something else. For a lot of people, it did not make sense. And sometimes when you want to pursue your dreams, not everybody would understand it. Not everybody would appreciate it. You need to be in tune. Yes, listen to our advice, but at the end of the day, follow that path that speaks to who you are. And a path that at the end of the year, at the end of your life, you can look back and say, I lived a fulfilled life because I pursued the cause that was there. I also faced rejection. So moving from medicine to the financial services sector, I started at the very bottom. I had to learn the ropes. I made mistakes, but I bounced back from it. And that's the concept of grit and resilience, that you need to be tenacious. I think for me, one lesson people can take from me is that I have made transitions in life, and you can also make that transition, but you will face challenges. Just persist and you will overcome it at the end.
Were you scared?
No, I wasn't. I think that maybe the classic David killing the lion and the bird, and he could face Goliath, because I had done GCE in JSS 2 at age 13. An exam that is for people that are older. I think it emboldened me somehow. I wasn't scared of failing. In fact, my greatest fear is not living up to my potential, not failing. Okay. I can accept failure. And failure is maybe you're not maximized, you did not make the target. What I cannot accept is not trying. And that's for me my greatest fear. Try, give it your all. Go out on a limb. And at the end of the day, if you don't meet the target, learn the lesson, but not what you call failure. Failure is an event, not a person. So I wasn't scared of failing. I was scared of not trying. That's what I was scared of. And I said, Maxwell, it is when I try, then I'll know whether I'm capable of it or not. So I tried GCE, I found that I was capable. I did it in SS1, I tried it, I found that I was capable. It was when I tried and I can come to that fact of, is it a problem of capacity? Is it a problem of motivation? Is it a problem of discipline? But I'm not scared of failure.
Okay. Now, some of the pictures you sent me, I saw you were standing in the midst of some of your clients or some of your students whom you're tutoring and you were teaching, and I saw that there was also a picture where you were exchanging pleasantries with the commissioner of police, and so when you encounter these people, you deal with people on a daily basis in organizations, what do you think is the basic problem about people and getting to the pinnacle of their career, and how can that be solved?
So I think it depends on the context you want to look at it, you understand? So I've been privileged to speak before governors, I've been privileged to speak before CEOs and great men in the Nigerian society. But performance challenges, so you can look at people have performance challenges, and it is broken down universally into five buckets for performance challenges. Number one is clarity. Number two is capacity. Number three is motivation. Number four is resources. And number five is consequences. At the end of the day, every performance challenge that people face will fall in one of these five. So from an organizational standpoint, it's in one of these five. From an individual standpoint, maybe the person is not motivated. Maybe the person thinks he doesn't have the resources. Maybe it's a problem of capacity. The person doesn't have the skill sets to do that. Maybe the person is not even aware. Or maybe the person doesn't understand the concept of consequence management. At the end of the day, every problem that an individual faces, we can drill it into one of these five. The reason why people will keep doing things that are wrong is because there's no consequence management in the Nigerian society. Okay. So I think for me, the way forward is the individual to decide that this is what I want to do and I want to achieve in my life. You know, Stephen Covey says you can be an island of excellence in a sea of mediocrity. So in spite of the challenges I see in the Nigerian society and these five problems, there are one or two individuals who, in spite of these challenges, in spite of the resource issue, in spite of this, are still succeeding.
Okay. Now, I want to know moments where success emerged in your face, career-wise and otherwise, where, you know, maybe promotion and maybe where the plaques, the gifts, the accolades came in. At what section of the career did it came in, and how did you receive those?
I think my career is also, in every place I've worked, I've been commended. So I worked in banking, you understand. I was promoted when I was in banking to an assistant manager in 2004, you understand. So in every place in in medicine, we don't have that promotions like that because I didn't stay so long in medicine. But my professors commended me. So what I would say for me is, if you do a good job, so even some in other banks that I worked, I got offers. I got people who wanted me to come and join them because they had the work I was doing. But I am not particularly, let me put it this way, the first joy I derive from my work is the joy of doing a great job. And so when somebody, today I did a presentation for a company and the person said, Maxwell, where's Maxwell? Call him, he's never late. That's the first joy. The joy of people knowing that I do a great job. The second joy is not the joy of the external reward that comes. But and did I have it in a lot of my career? Of course I did. And when it comes, because I was expecting it, it didn't come as a surprise. The only that organization I told you where there was a delay because they didn't believe in rewarding excellence, and I said to them, if it doesn't happen when I want it, I'm going to leave. So that's how I respond to that particular question.
Okay, so lastly, tell us, what advice do you have for Nigerian youths, the young people of these days who are somehow trying to okay, where do I go from here? What do I do? Should I study medicine? Okay, should I go into this business? Am I going to resign from my jobs and take up entrepreneuring? Or what should I do? They are confused.
Okay, so let me speak to, just quickly because of our time, I'll speak to people at work. Let me speak to people that are already working. Somebody asked me, if I want to give an advice to a young person starting his career, what would I say to the person? I said just 3 things. Number 1 is wherever you find yourself, do a good job. That's the first principle I tell you. Make excellence your watchword wherever you find yourself. Number 2 is develop skills for the future. The fact that you're in a particular job doesn't mean that that job will be relevant for the future. So you need to make sure you develop skills for the future. And number 3 is that you find a great mentor or a sponsor for you. If you put it to somebody deciding his career also, or a young person about to go to school, yes, I know that you need to find those skills will be relevant and you can make the decision right now. So if I find myself in a particular course, jump, it's okay, it's fine, but develop the skills that will be relevant for the future. Because in the future, we know that some courses will not be as relevant as they are now in the future. So whatever decision you make, whether it's medicine, whether it's law, whether it's psychology, just make sure that whatever course you want to study and career path you want to choose will be relevant in the next 5-10 years. And if you find yourself in that place, make excellence your watchword. Thank you.
Excellence, develop skill for the future. And lastly,
find a mentor or a sponsor.
Find a mentor or a sponsor. Those are not my words. Those are the words of Dr. Maxwell Ubah, our incredible guest this morning. It's great having you with us today on the program. Thank you so much.
Thank you
for honoring our invitation. Now, Sam Adeyemi said, successful people are the failures that refuse to quit, while failures are the successful people that quit easily. So, for you, I am saying don't give up on your career goals, your academic goals, your family goals, and all other aspirations you have. If you hold on a little longer, you will arrive at your predetermined destination. I am Oyinpriye Krumale saying bye for now.
A new day dawns, full of possibilities. Take the first step towards your dreams. Empower your mind with positive thoughts. Achieve more. Make a difference in someone's life today. Impossibility is nothing.
Imagine a world transformed by the power of giving, where every act of kindness sparks another, These are the champions who dedicate their lives to change. Together, they are paying it forward. Champions of change. Paying it forward. Join us and be part of the movement. Here on the Achievement Channel.
Welcome to Champions of Change on the Achievement Channel, the show where we celebrate extraordinary individuals making a difference, transforming lives, and inspiring positive change. We're broadcasting from the School of Eloquence studio in Lagos, and today's episode is nothing short of remarkable. Joining us is a man whose life embodies resilience, innovation, and the power of vision, Dr. Cosmas Maduka. From humble beginnings as a teenage hawker to becoming the founder and president of the Coscharis Group, a powerhouse conglomerate spanning automobiles, agriculture, and technology. Dr. Maduka's story is a masterclass in turning challenges into opportunity. With over 4 decades of entrepreneurial excellence, he has not only built an empire, but has become a beacon of hope, proving that dreams fueled by hard work can change lives and communities. I'm your host, Pamela Igbo. You're in for an episode filled with wisdom, inspiration, and actionable lessons. Let's get started.
School of Eloquence, teaching the world to speak.
Welcome, Dr. Cosmas to Champions of Change. It's so good to have you here.
Thank you, Pamela. It's my pleasure to be here on your show.
Thank you. So this is a show where we honor people who have been doing inspiring things in their communities, and beyond your business acumen, we know that you are a fantastic philanthropist, a mentor. And so I wanted to ask you about your philanthropy and what you think of corporate social responsibility and how you use that to lead your group in Coscharis.
Okay, well, thank you, Pamela. Again, it's my pleasure to be on your show this time. Corporate social responsibility is at the heart of our company, because if you get to know Coscharis and what we stood for, the inspiration was to create an institution that would be timeless in its relevancy and value. So it's not about me, it's not about whosoever, but it's about building something that outlasts the founders. How then are we going to do that? We came up with a mission to say Coscharis will deliver excellent product and services, giving our customers the highest value for their money, and will contribute to societal development by plowing resources back into the immediate community, growing stronger and waxing bigger into the future, and create a sense of pride in its employees. So, in the ecosystem, corporate responsibility is captured in what we set out to do. We never even said where we are going to be without it being part of the foundation of our organization. And that shows you how important it is. So it's at the very heart of our organization to plow back resources into the immediate community and society.
And I love it because I know that you lead by example. So that's an excellent thing. So in terms of, I know that Coscharis has expanded in terms of the different things that you offer. And one of the things that you did a few years ago is to get into Coscharis Farms in Anambra. And I know that your initiative there is to create about 3,000 jobs for people in Anambra. Can you tell us a little bit of how that has been going and what transformation you have seen in Anambra State, in that community, because of that?
Okay, it's important that people understand that Coscharis, in all our business lifetime that is close to 5 decades today, we are not one of those rice importers.
Right.
We never did. So, but Coscharis Farm was also not an accident. It's all about vision and plan. Because where we are today, the property that we acquire, that we are Selling is a starting point for you to grow, but keep your eyes on the big picture where ultimately you want it to be. By 2012, 2013, we started planning to go and develop this farmland. You said it's quite a piece of property. Because some people ask me, is it real that you have 3,000 hectares in Anambra State? Because that's like a village. Where does such land exist? We acquired this property from different people. We bought Rogeni property, piece of property, 310 hectares. We bought Bravo property, 610 hectares. We bought Light Brewelly, and then before we now get the villagers to give us additional portions. So it was an area that was like a forest that never have been cultivated. If I start telling you the things we made developing that property, we didn't just make big plankton there. We made different kind of animals there, whether it is alligators and all of those things, because it was a thick forest. Clearing it cost us ₦1 billion. That was in 2015.
Wow.
But what had happened was that when we wanted to go and develop this property, the villagers looked at us. We became their captive market, like a container they clear. Anytime we come, they want to collect money. So it becomes challenging. But when Obiano became the governor of Anambra State and called for stakeholders forum, I sat in one of the meetings where he shared his economic plan for Anambra State. And one of his 7 pillars of economic transformation was agriculture. It was very interesting. So I listened to it. And at the end of the meeting, I asked him, can we have a private sector, meeting, which he consented to. I said, look, I have this piece of property that actually located in your village, but unfortunately, each time we want to develop that piece of property, it was like we are a container that have landed, and this is becoming very irritating. He said, when are you ready to start? I said, tomorrow. He called his commissioner of agriculture, set up a committee, and said, please go talk to my people and tell them that they will be the people that is stopping him, because all he's looking for is to attract an investment in Anambra State. So that's where government is important, because they are catalysts to provide the enabling environment.
That's right.
So they had to do the community meeting and get the people to say, please, hands off. So we moved into the land, started the land clearing in 2015, because rice is a grain that grows on a mud. And for such large kind of property, for us to really do anything meaningful, we have to clear every wood, every stick. It's